Console players, y'all got a little bit of explaining to do, man. YouTube, what's going on, man? It's Father Dark, and I'm here today with a video that I've been wanting to do for a while now. I've been talking about it in my last couple of videos, but it just took me a little while. I had a few other things that I had to do, and I know there's some people that, you know, they really think that everything's supposed to be this really quick summarization in a 2-minute video. Some things need to be talked about, and they need to be stretched out a little bit, and you need a little bit of a preface before you actually get into stuff, because if not, there's going to be 100 people in the comment section that go, well, what about this, or what about that? So first, I want to start off by saying that the reason why I started to do this to begin with was because I noticed a big difference when it comes to console players versus PC players. Now, first thing that I want to say is that I play with a controller regardless. I've been on PC for years now, and I've been playing with a controller. I've been playing with a controller my whole entire life. There are a few games that I do play with keyboard and mouse, but it's usually games where it's just not feasible to use a controller. If you can use a controller at all, I'd much rather use a controller. That's a personal choice. But this video isn't necessarily about the type of input. I just wanted to put that out there because a lot of people just assume if you play on PC that you use keyboard and mouse, and if you're playing on a console that you use a controller. Whereas in a lot of games outside of this one, that couldn't be further from the truth. A lot of people just use whatever they like, regardless of their platform. The other thing that I want to preface too and say is that this isn't a console versus PC thing. This isn't I believe PCs are master race, or the consoles are any less skilled or competitive or anything. I played on console for 30 years. I just recently, in the last couple of years, started playing on PC. And the thing is that with most games that I've played, since cross-platform has been a thing and it's been introduced, it's usually been a situation where when you play ranked, just like with Call of Duty or Fortnite and Apex. Now, also, I want to say, too, that I know that a lot of these games have recently introduced console-only lobbies for ranked and stuff like that. Nonetheless, though, most of the time that I've played, like Call of Duty, for example, which they just recently introduced it, but most of the time that I've played, it's been against cross-platform. It's been everybody just kind of thrown in and they play together. Before cross-platform was introduced, and we knew it was going to be introduced to Call of Duty, a lot of people were sitting back saying, oh, well, how are we going to compete against people on keyboard and mouse? They're far more skilled, et cetera, et cetera. And you fast forward to 5 years later, going on 6 now, and one of the biggest complaints in that community is that controller players are just overpowered. A lot of people that used to exclusively play on keyboard and mouse have actually switched over to controller because aim assist they feel like is so powerful in a lot of these games. So that's another thing that I wanted to talk about. Now, like back to what I was saying originally, I noticed that a lot of people that come into, whether it be the Discord or the comment section, they're really quick to sit back and say how they easily got to Grandmaster, or they easily got to whatever rank that they're in. They sit back and say, oh, I work a full-time job, I did this, bronze and silver lobbies, you really shouldn't get hard stuck in them. Same thing with gold and stuff, that they're just so easy, they breeze right past them, there's no problem whatsoever. And I always thought that was kind of strange. And there's also been a lot of people, which I'm not going to say any names, but there's been a lot of people that I played with who were on console who had reached, let's say, GM, for example. And when we play together and they have to play against PC players, like let's say we're playing quick play and they can't turn off, console only, which I didn't even know that was a thing in this game because I just recently started playing on my console. But whenever we would play together and they had to go against PC players, they would really struggle. And they never really did any better at any of the characters that we played, that we mutually play, which I'm a flex player. So, I play everybody pretty much, give everybody a shot. Nonetheless, the point I'm making is that when we would play together, there really wasn't much of a difference in skill. And I was expecting that if you're multiple ranks above me, that you should be more skilled than me. So there's a couple different things that made me wonder about this. I've also had an influx too in our Discord of people that would come in who are, diamond or platinum or GM, and they'll say, oh, well, I'm so skilled at the game and it's not about you. It's not about your team, but it's more about you. There's a lot of people that kind of have adopted this mindset that no matter how skilled or not skilled your teammates are, that you should be able to carry a game. And once again, most of these people that make these arguments are usually on a console. Now, once again, there's something that you have to understand is that for everything that I'm saying, there is an exception. There is no just cut and dry black and white thing in the world. Everything pretty much, there's an exception to it. So if I say something, I'm talking about the majority, but there is a minority of people that also may fit this or not fit it. But still, though, we're referring to the majority of people here. So the thing is that I wanted to load up on console and I wanted to see if there was a difference between console and PC lobbies, because in on PC, no matter what rank that I'm in, it feels extremely competitive. You start out in bronze and you say, well, I'm not a bronze player, I'm actually a plat player. So with most times in most ranks that I've played in the past, you should be able to breeze past all of the ranks that are below you. Not saying that in a bad way, just simply saying that if you're up in plat or diamond or whatever, you shouldn't really be struggling in bronze, silver, and gold, right? But on PC, I feel like every single lobby that I'm in, there really doesn't feel like a skill differentiation. Now, you could equate that to different things like smurfing or, you know, whatever it is that you want to use to rationalize it, right? But I'm used to regularly having matches, no matter what rank that I'm in, where we're going double, triple overtime. And I shouldn't be having the same issues in lower ranks as I would have in the more middle ranks. And the thing too is that I want to say is that I don't think that I'm an amazing player. This is my first time playing a hero shooter, really. But I played Overwatch with friends and family, but I never played it like the way that I play Call of Duty or the way I used to play Fortnite or Apex Legends or any of the games that I'm legitimately into. This is the first game that's got me into this genre. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of terms, a lot of positioning, a lot of ways that you use characters, counters, and all that kind of stuff that I'm just now having to learn. The closest thing that I could say that I've played to this realistically and put a decent amount of time into was Apex, but that's overall more of a battle royale. Yes, people have abilities, but overall I could still kind of carry and rank up regardless of having an understanding like I do with this game. So with all that being said, anyone who wasn't around on the stream, I started playing on this account last week, but it took me a while to get to level 15. Now, a lot of people said that it only takes 6 hours, but that's really weird because I really was not losing matches like that, and I was usually MVP. And I had some matches that I did lose here and there because, to be honest with you, when I started this account, I decided to use characters that I very seldom use just to kind of, you know, have fun, and because it's not my main account. But still, though, there are times when I was losing. Nonetheless, though, the point I'm making is that it took me a while to level this account up, like 4, maybe even 5 days. I can't remember exactly how long it was, but it was a while. But then once I started playing ranked, and like I said, I did this on stream. Now, the rules that I made, just as another little preface before I get into it, the rules that I made for myself going into this was that I was going to only solo queue. I was never going to ask anyone for any kind of like help, or if some, you know, I had a lot of people that are a lot of followers and subscribers that are on console that were like, oh man, I finally get to play ranked with you because you're on console. And I told them no. Now, I did all of this on stream. I believe the stream was Friday or Saturday. I can't remember. I think it was Friday. But nonetheless, though, the first part of this, I did it on stream. The second part of this, I didn't, but that's just because I didn't feel like streaming yesterday when I came back to this account to play again. But this account, I will leave public, and the reason why it's called Lady Dark is because my wife played like 3 matches on my Xbox. I never use my console anymore. I don't really have a reason to. But she actually made an account on here because she saw me playing one night and said, oh, I want to join in and have fun. She played a couple games and then she went to bed. So I didn't feel like having to pay money just to change the name on here. It didn't matter to me. Nonetheless, though, I'm going to leave this account open for you all to be able to check it on the stat checker so you can see the different things that I'm telling you and stuff like that. But if we take a look here at the history, we can see that this is not normal. Okay, if you compare this to my PC account, which I will have to open up, I closed it because people were just sitting there, like people would watch my videos and nitpick over my account, and I really didn't understand why. If the video had nothing, it's like going to the news, like somebody's watching a video about the news, and they're just like, let me check your stats on COD. It's like, brother, we're not even talking about COD. But the point is that I'll have to open that one back up for you. But this one's already open. You can see everything that I've done all the way up until the rank that I'm at now currently. But once again, like I said, as you can see, when we scroll through here, this is not normal, okay? So we scroll through and we see that we have a defeat here. That was a quick match. Once again, just messing around. And even then we can see SVP, SVP, SVP. And this one right here is the first one that we had that was a loss in competitive. I believe we had someone that left at some point or got disconnected or something like that. And then we see 3 more losses here. But then after that, we see this long row of victories again, right? And this isn't a situation where I ended up getting off or anything like that. So nothing like that. And then we see here we're going up into gold. We get up into platinum, still victory, platinum, 1 defeat there. And then we see a streak of defeats right here. Now, I'll be honest with you. If you look at the time over here, you see this was at 11 o'clock at night. Now, I'm not going to lie. I had been up since like probably 6 o'clock in the morning, taking care of the kids and stuff like that. I think we'd actually went out to breakfast early, me and the wife and the kids. So I had been up the whole entire day. And at this point, I was just queuing because I wanted to just go ahead and get to like diamond that night before I stopped. So that was me. I was kind of whatever people like to call it, rage queuing, or just, queuing when I wasn't in the best mind and really just needed to go to bed. But then we can see here, though, after this last defeat over here, which one was it? Yeah, so right here, this is when I stopped. So get back on today, lost one. 1-1, lost 1-1-2, right? So the point that I'm making is that this record right here is not even remotely close to what it would look like if I was playing on PC. On PC, no matter what rank that you're in, and I'm just telling you the honest truth. This is just what it is. See, the thing is that you can't say that within the span of 2 days, I magically became 5 times a better player than I was previously. That makes no sense. I really hate to use the word cope, but that would be some very serious cope. Okay. What I'm starting to feel like with this, and what I've been feeling like, is that there is a massive difference in skill between PC and console. Now, once you get up to a certain point, like now that I'm at plat, it's starting to kind of feel like how it would feel for me in silver lobbies, honestly, on PC. People actually kind of have somewhat of an idea of what they're doing. They start to begin to counter swap. It's just a couple of different things. Now, another thing that I want to add too with this is that I didn't use any characters that I don't normally use. I'm normally a flex player. I know a couple of different roles really, really well and have lords for each role, whether it be tank, DPS, or healer. And I only use those same characters. Once again, you're more than welcome to look up the stats on this and see who I was using. If I didn't, I don't know if it shows you who people were using, but I'm pretty sure it'll say who you mostly use. Now, the thing is that I had to be a healer more times than not. It is very, very, very rare. I can probably count on one hand out of all these matches how many times I was ever able to be a DPS or a tank. And when I say I flex, I mean that I literally will wait until the match has started. Now, every once in a while, you'll have that one or two people that are waiting to see what everyone else picks because maybe they're a flex, but that is very rare. Usually, everyone insta-locks DPS, and maybe there's like one tank. 2 if I'm really lucky, but I've been 99.9% of the time a healer, and usually I will go with Cloak and Dagger. I really enjoy Cloak and Dagger, but there's a few games where I played Sue Storm, did really good on those games as well. So that's just kind of something that I noticed about it. But like I said, I'm really starting to notice that there's a massive skill difference, and I don't want to say this to try to hurt anyone's feelings. I know that people take stuff like this very personally because when I was doing the stream, and YouTube will save your streams as VODs. So a lot of people came back in the comment section after it had turned into a VOD, and a lot of people were trying to say, oh, you're trying to say that this is a PC master race thing and PC is better overall. No, that's not what I'm saying. You can be on PC and be terrible at the game. You can be on console and be terrible at the game. And saying that somebody's terrible at the game, I'm not saying that to put you down. I'm just simply saying that two things can be true at the same exact time. You have some people, I'm sure, on console. I know some of them. They're on Discord who are goated on console. They just don't have a PC. But you, like I said, there's no way that this matchmaking is legitimate. And when I say the matchmaking, I'm not really saying the matchmaking. I'm just saying that these stats here that I have, the amount of victories, I have never had that on PC before. It has just never happened. Usually I may win 3, maybe 4 matches, and then I'm going to lose a couple of matches, maybe even more than the amount that I just won. And like I said, my skill level has not changed at all. I'm still a slightly above what's average player. Now, I know it says when you go into rank and you get past gold, it pretty much on PC puts you above, like, I think it's like 85% of people in the server. So you could use that logic, but a lot of people just don't play ranked. And I'm sure there's some people that don't play ranked that would probably be low ranked, but there's also probably a lot of people that if they did try to play ranked, they probably would be able to reach those ranks. So I feel like those numbers are kind of skewed. But at the same time, though, I'm kind of leaning in the direction that whatever rank that you are on console, you might subtract 2 of those ranks to account for the fact of what you would be on PC. And that's just my personal opinion. Now, I know people are going to debate that. I know people are going to, get upset and triggered, and it's going to feel like someone's trying to diminish what you're doing. But once again, I feel like you can't really deny the facts here. If you look at my record on PC, and you look at my record on a console. And the thing is that even all of the settings are the same. A lot of people think, let's say, oh, well, you're playing on PC or PC with a controller. There's no aim assist. Not true. Every single aim assist setting, I literally just took a picture of all of my aim assist settings when I switched over to the console, and I mimicked every single thing. It's an exact clone. The only thing I didn't change was my reticle for a few of the characters. Any of the ones that I use regularly, though, I would update them. But for the most part, I just kind of left all that little stuff the same. But the main settings like aim assist, sensitivity, all that kind of stuff, I just took pictures of them, copied and pasted everything over into the console. So there was really nothing that was different. My skill level has not changed that much. Do I try to grow and evolve and learn from things all the time? Of course I do. I'm competitive. I like to try to get better and better each time that I play the game. But at the same time, though, like I said, the proof's in the pudding. However you want to put it. There is just no way that I would have went all the way up to gold without even getting a single loss. Let's see. When exactly did I get my first competitive loss? It was in silver. I had one loss in silver. Pretty sure somebody left or just threw or something. I was SVP on that one. And then let's see. We had another one in silver. Actually, no, we had 3 in silver. Okay. But then even once we get up to gold, pretty much everyone was a win. We had 1 defeat at gold 1. And then we get into platinum. We also have 1 defeat in platinum. And then it's all just wins again. So that just would not happen on PC. I'm just being honest with you guys. To get to gold was a struggle between all of the Smurf accounts, between all of the people that you could tell got rank reset and were also having to deal with EOMM and different things and stuff like that, because the game is going to try as hard as it can. You can't deny that EOMM is in the game. It's a thing. It's just as simple as what it is. Trying to deny it is not helping anything. The documentation is out there. We all feel it. Now, EOMM affects people differently, just like with me playing on console. After I had won like 15 matches in a row, the game eventually gave me teammates that I'm pretty sure were AI. I don't think that they were real people. They would literally just run out and just die. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't out heal the amount of damage they were taking. I couldn't switch to DPS because then they would sit there and somehow miss with cloak and dagger. Someone who literally auto aims. Like, how do you miss with an auto aim? That takes effort. It takes more effort to miss than to not. So it just didn't feel very organic after a period of time. If I even had remotely competent teammates, like I mean even just remotely competent, and with any type of game sense whatsoever, even the smallest amount, I just breezed through. Not a single problem. And the thing is like I said, you can see the amount of eliminations that I was getting as healer. You can see that I'm getting plus 48, plus 56, plus 51 points and stuff like that. You know, so I was still playing the way that I normally would play, but the fact that I was mostly just carrying people for these, you know, up until I got to the point to where I got to like gold 1 in platinum. Now in platinum, I did have to kind of step it up a little bit, but it did not feel at all like actual platinum lobbies. Actual platinum lobbies are just, you would think most of the time that most of these people are cheating, but in reality, they're not cheating a lot of times, because I will watch the replay and I'll see that they miss a shot here or there. So they're not, you know, using hacks or anything like that. They're just extremely goated at what they're doing. And I can only imagine what the lobbies are like in Diamond and Grandmaster and stuff like that. And once again, that's like my ceiling on PC that I'm having to fight as hard as I can to get into Diamond for me personally, right? So I'm by no means a really great player. And like I said, every single rank, I have these matches where whether it's bronze, silver, gold, platinum, where people are playing like there's a $1 million on the line. Like we're in a pro tourney. A pro tournament, and completely just night and day differences. People were watching the stream that were in the Discord, and I had the Discord up, and I could see where there were people who were literally saying he must have paid for matchmaking, as if NetEase is going to do anything for me with as many videos as I've made, going into crash out rants, whether it was about Chrono Shield tokens or EOMM or how they handle certain things in the game, all types of stuff. These people are not going to do me any favors whatsoever. If anything, I'm pretty sure that they have my account flagged as the complete opposite of what a lot of these content creators are, that kind of like, just do nothing but praise them regardless of what's going on. So I'm the last person to get any kind of favors from these people. I don't ever hold back on what I'm saying. And I've told, if you're new to this channel, I've told you all numerous times. I mean, if you're not new to this channel, you've heard it many times. But if you are new to the channel, I have absolutely zero reason to lie to you all. There's absolutely zero need for me to sit back and make up stuff for you for clicks and views. Like I said, I did not go into this. This was just an experiment for me. It was just to see what it's like, simply because I don't ever use my console. So there's no way for me to know. But I did have a theory that maybe potentially there was some kind of difference in console lobbies. Did I think it was as much of a difference as I ended up finding out? No, not whatsoever. Now, a lot of people, they might say, oh, well, you got to Plat 1 and you stopped. I did not stop. I wanted to go ahead and make a video that's kind of like a part 1 to this. Now, I am going to continue to grind out the rank, but I have to actually do a Discord call today. We're going to be holding a stage. And if you haven't joined the Discord yet, I really recommend joining the Discord, because we do these stages where we talk about things a lot, and I welcome viewers on to be able to talk about it. And if you don't, if you don't have any issues with it, you get to be in the video that I post about it. So those people really seem to enjoy those. And it's also nice for the community, because they get to have a platform and a stage where they're able to voice their opinions about things, and or their grievances, whatever it is. You can sing the praises if you really are enjoying them, whatever the case is. But if you can't find the link, it's actually on my channel page. It's next to my logo. If you click more info, you'll see a link to the Discord there. So I recommend joining that if that's something that's interesting to you, or if you're just looking for people to play with, there's LFG, or if you just want to talk with like-minded people as well, that's also an option. So, but I'm going to wrap this video up. And like I said, this is just a part 1. I am going to, because I am starting to kind of feel that I kind of have to actually really try now that I'm in Plat. And I'm not saying like try as much as I would have to try in PC lobbies, but it's still a thing where I'm having to try. So like I said, I'm going to continue to keep grinding this out, and I am going to make a part 2, because what I'm going to try to do is surpass the rank that I've gotten on PC. And then maybe I'll do another video if you guys are interested in it, because I know there were some people that said, well, you were starting out when everybody had got reset, and now you're doing it once people are kind of in their ranks that they're placed in. And the thing is that I don't think 2 days of a difference made that much of a difference from when I started. But I'd be willing to, once we get the season rank reset, whether that's, I don't know if they're resetting it for the mid-season update or if that's going to be with season 3. But regardless though, I will go back and once both of these counts have reset, because they should be close enough in rank, I'll go back and I'll do it again, and I'll see if it was just as easy for me to grind through that during that period as it was this time around. So, but let me know in the comments if that's something that you all would like to see. If you're interested in that, I wouldn't mind going back through that and doing it again. But I won't lie, I am personally curious as well what it would be like next season once everybody floods back in and is trying to all rush to rank up and stuff like that. But I'm going to wrap this video up though. But let me know in the comments though, like, what do you think? Do you think that there is a difference? There's not a difference? Have you actually played on both platforms, or have you only played on one? When you play quick play, do you play console only? Do you not mind going up against PC players? Just whatever it is that you have to say it respectfully though. If not, we get you up out of there. But nonetheless though, I don't mind talking about it and hearing different people's perspectives and their thoughts and opinions on it, just like with most things. This isn't an echo chamber, so it's not a situation where you have to agree with me. But it is kind of hard in this situation, simply because I have done it and I have played with both accounts, on both platforms. So I have seen it from both perspectives. And like I said, I didn't come into this with the idea that, oh, one is better than the other one, or I have to prove that console is easier. No, if I would have had just as much of a struggle in console lobbies, that's what you would be hearing right now. And this is why I have no problem showing you all what the record is and allowing you to see a side-by-side comparison of my main account, which, like I said, why would I lie about that when most of the videos that I make is me being irritated and complaining that on PC I'm going up against God tier FaZe Clan members and I'm getting, just average Joe Schmoes that probably plan on a 60-inch TV from across the living room, which there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, though, it's really hard to carry in those lobbies. Whereas in these lobbies, I almost felt like I could have been watching a TV show at the same time on my other monitor and playing this game, and I still wouldn't have had that much of an issue. So, but like I said, let me know in the comments what you all think. I'd love to hear from you. And like I said, if you haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord, because we have conversations like this a lot. I'll probably be holding a stage after the one today where we talk about this as well, and we kind of, compare notes and stuff like that. So let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. That's all I got for you. But I'm Father Dark, and I'll catch you on the next one.